Greetings again, everyone. My name is Chet. This right here is ChetChat, and we saw the Lost City of Z. So as you can tell from my little introduction there, I didn't really enjoy this movie that much, man. I'm sorry. So the Lost City of Z is about this guy who's an explorer. He gets sent on this mapping mission in South America, Amazonia, and while he's doing this mapping, he actually uncovers this lost city where it's not really he uncovers a whole city, he just sees there are signs of civilization. When he goes back and reports that he's seen this civilization, he wants to actually go out and try and find the rest of it. But in that time period, people mock South America because they think of them as savages. So when this guy talks about that there's an actual civilization with pottery and almost maybe a government, they laugh at him, they scoff, and they're like, we're not gonna fund this mission to explore this civilization that you thought you saw in Amazonia. So it's just this story about this guy struggling to become an explorer and make his family name more reputable because apparently he had a very bad reputation with his family. That's the gist of it. Too bad though, I feel like the execution of this movie is really, really bad. It starts off really interesting. You kind of get introduced to the characters and what kind of world they live in. They set up the environment, the world, the time period. They show you that these are the laws that people had back in the day, and these are the societal standings that they had. So they do a good job of establishing that, but then once they get the ball rolling into the exploration, it's this slow, trudging exploration. You see it get cut off and he goes back, and then they go through even more bureaucracy, and it just feels like it's trudging along. And it's almost like a real documentary. Like, I remember there was this comedian who talked about how he stayed up late at night watching this Giant Squid documentary, how they would keep just telling him, oh, we almost caught a sign of the giant squid. Let's go and see if we could go back and see it again. And they'll spend an hour doing this. And ultimately, you don't see the giant squid. This movie feels like that. They keep talking about this lost city, and you feel like they keep getting there, but it's not really, and then it doesn't deliver. I almost felt cheated watching this movie. And there are so many ups and downs in the movies where you're like, okay, now let's have this part happen, and it doesn't happen, and they do something worse, and you're just really disappointed in the choice of the way that they chose to show that part of the movie. And there are maybe 4 or 5 times in the end of the movie where I'm like, all right, that's the end of this movie. That'll be cool. I'm good with that. And then no, there's another 30 minutes, and then you're like, all right, let's end the movie now. Come on. And then they're like, no, let's show you another 30 minutes of movie. I'm like, you gotta stop showing this movie, man. You're making it worse by extending the time of this movie. Insult to injury, when the movie ends, they give you some more exposition in written form telling you what kind of happened to kind of show you that, oh, this is an actual true story. I really did not appreciate that at all. The only good thing about this movie, I felt, was the surprise role by, I think his name is Robert Pattinson, dude from Twilight. He did so awesome in this movie. I loved him to death. Although some of his lines sound very, very mumbly. They probably told him to act like that, but I need some subtitles. But other than that, he was outstanding as an actor in this movie. He acted circles around, what's his name? Joe Hunnam or something from Pacific Rim, who can't even do an accent properly. But he was alright in this movie as a paper-thin protagonist who does nothing. But Robert Pattinson, he busted ass in this movie, man. And then there's a surprise appearance by a child actor. I don't want to say who it is because everybody in the theater was like, oh my god, that's him, right? And I was like, yeah, that's him. It was kind of cool to see that he was in this movie out of nowhere. So I don't want to say, even though I'm kind of making this movie sound whack, I still want you guys to see it, so I don't want to spoil it. Because sometimes you gotta see these movies and just understand that sometimes documentary type movies that are telling true stories need better execution at telling the story. But at the same time, you have an interesting concept. So I like the concept, but the execution is poor. So you should definitely check it out. Even if you just like the actors that are in the movie, there's a lot of good actors in this movie. Robert Pattinson, just go see it for him if you're a fan of him for some reason. Yeah, he did really well. So that's it for this episode. Yeah, you know what to do there.